Hey, 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 we are live again. It's May 2023. I'm here with Lakeisha Mosley, two Biz Besties. Hello, Lakeisha. What's going on?
What's up, girl? It's just another day.
It's another
And
day, but the Lord has given it to us. I'm very excited about
yes,
this day.
yes, I know we can't complain about it now. Yeah,
No,
it's all
no, ma'am.
good.
It's all good. I'm happy because we're at the what is this like the end? This is the end of May, so we're pretty
Yeah,
much in the summertime. The kids
yeah,
are, coming out of school. So, so having them around, that may be a good thing, that may not be a good thing. But I'm happy that, the school year's over. So I guess, it's
mhm,
like, it's time to have fun, I guess, in other words. The
yes,
summertime is hit. So I'm excited about it. We have a few things to talk about, and I have been
yes,
waiting to talk to you about this one. I've been waiting. Oh my
yes.
goodness. Okay, so let me tell you what had happened. So, for
Okay.
those who don't know, I am a travel nurse, meaning that I go away from my home, I travel away from my home to do all my shifts, my nursing shifts, as I am a registered nurse. And this month, the manager of the unit suddenly called my company and said that we no longer need her services. Like, toot, 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 like, we no longer need her services. And I was like, say what? Y'all ain't got no nurses?
Right? What?
Y'all ain't got no nurses? Yes, girl. Yes, girl. I was like, y'all ain't got no nurses? What you mean you don't need my services no more? So I have been chilling at home for the last 2.5 weeks with no contract. When I tell you that and this is just outside stuff if you don't know, nursing is suffering.
Yeah,
The profession as a whole is suffering, meaning there's not enough nurses, aka because we ain't getting paid.
right.
But essentially, the last travel contract, they said sayonara, and I said okay. Like literally, I'm working, and the next day I was going to go work the next day, and my contract was cut. So when I say that not letting anyone be in charge of your destiny. When you realize, and again, I kind of put myself in this situation, right? So I'm a travel nurse, I signed the contract, but the more I'm going on in this world, the more I'm like, I can't let nobody be in charge of
Right.
anything related to my anything.
Absolutely.
My anything, right? So like that's why we're doing these businesses. That's why we
Yes.
are, we're like, look, I don't want anybody in charge, supervisor, boss. I don't
Right.
want anybody in charge of what happens to my pocketbook, what
Right.
happens to my bank accounts. And, there's a lot of other back stuff there, but the moral of the story, the moral of the story is not letting anybody be in charge of
Yeah.
your destiny and what is there for you. Like I've always said I'm a full-time nurse, but I'm a full-time nurse, but it's my side hustle. And that I have got to really turn it around where this business is full-time and I'm working for myself. I am my own boss. And this becomes something that like, okay, when I want to go be a nurse, I'll go be a nurse.
Right. Right. Yeah. Like,
Isn't that crazy?
what makes me mad is that people, companies do this and they do it on purpose sometimes.
Oh, you know it.
It's like we've gotten away from really caring about our people who work for us.
Say that
Like
again. Say that again. I have had
they don't care.
three. I renewed with this hospital 3 times. Like literally was like, okay, I'll keep helping you because they were in a bad way with staff. So I kept on. I kept on, and then I was like, oh, no loyalty. I was gonna say
Yeah.
something else, but no. Even with people that don't work there, there's no loyalty. I don't even work there, but it's no
Yeah.
loyalty. So yeah,
Yeah. I just don't understand like why companies don't understand like how that affects them and how other people will see them. And that's why for me, I've been got out the game. I know it's a struggle sometimes to be an entrepreneur, and that's what a lot of times people don't see on social media. They
Oh
see the cars, the house, and they don't understand sometimes they just as broken it as anybody,
yeah.
but those of us who are being real, like sometimes I don't feel like we show enough of what that struggle is like before people jump off the cliff and say, "Oh, I want to be an entrepreneur."
Right.
Like it's hard out here in these internet streets, like for real, for real. But what I would not do is let a company treat me like the booty piece of the bread. No, ma'am, not
Yeah.
never again. I will sell all my stuff
Mm.
before I do that. And the reason being is because of some shady shenanigans like that. Like you literally don't tell someone that this is their livelihood. Thank God, like you gotta fall back. But
Hmm.
again, that is why we have to work our businesses the same way we work them doggone corporate jobs and these
Yes.
other jobs.
Yes,
Because
I
if
totally
we
agree with
put our
that.
energy into it, we can really make the stuff happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we
Absolutely.
really could. So I hate that happened to you. Like that makes me mad because I will fight about you, but I also feel like this could be God's way of telling you, move, Nicole.
Time to make the move. And it's funny because like the last 2.5 weeks, I get up, because I'm also taking care of my father-in-law. We're also doing
Right.
that. He ends up in the hospital right now, so it's a little bit of a break for that. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, Nicole, you could get paid for taking care of your father-in-law. And at the same time on that, you realize there's a contract. So I would be underneath once again that same umbrella of a contract.
Mm-hmm.
It's so I don't want to work for nobody. I don't want to work for nobody. And the
Yeah.
more and more that I'm getting on in just my profession, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, I can't work for other people. It's
Yeah.
getting to the point where like I'm like, what can I do to get out of it and
Right.
really truly focus in on Fimpreneur Online. Focus in
Mm-hmm.
because I've been doing this for a little while. Like, I
Right.
mean, I'm thinking 4 or 5 years now. Like I'm thinking about it. I'm like, how long have I been doing this? But I've always been kind of doing it part-time hours, right? I haven't been giving
Mm-hmm.
it full-time hours. And it's like, okay, Nicole, especially this month. And can I also tell you this? The contracts out there are trash. Okay.
Mm.
They're trash. What I mean by trash for travel nurse standards, they're trash meaning that they are not, what's the word? They're not giving what they need to be giving, right? So that company who is in charge of that contract is
Mm-hmm.
making time and a half off of you. So every dollar you're making, they're probably making $2 or $3 off of it an hour. Think about every time you bring home a paycheck, they're making 2 or 3 times what that paycheck is every time you go to work.
Right.
So I'm not getting broke off in this whole game. I'm really not getting broke off in it. Like they're taking a
Right.
lot of the money from us. So now it's kind of like these contracts are trash. I don't want to say COVID's over, but it's past. We're past that element now. These contracts are going back to dang it, I can go work for a company and still make that amount of money now. So it's changing. The options are changing. And then of course they're like, well, you can make more money if you get more education. I was like, look, it still goes back. It's still a
Right.
cycle. I still end up working for a company. I still end up doing the same thing. So getting
Exactly.
more education is not the key here, at least in
Right.
my profession right now. But
Right.
I make this like a little like signal for you. Like if I know it's a
Mm-hmm.
signal for me, like I can't keep working for other people.
Yep.
I can't do it for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the way it used to be. Companies are loyal. They give you pension.
Yes.
They don't. You know what I mean? What pension? Kids don't even know what pension means now. Like,
Not at all.
what's a pension? So it's like that's not the end game. That's pension will never be an end game. They'll never take care of me. I got to take care of
Right.
myself. So
Right.
we
Right.
got to
That's
focus in
true.
on this business entrepreneurship. I'm telling you.
Yep, that's true. I'm just Like for me, I know that that's not me. First of all, I was disrespectful too, because I would be on them people job, girl, working my business. So it didn't even make any sense how disrespectful I was on them other folks' job. But it also just showed me like I'm not a good employee. I'm
Mhm,
just not a good employee. And that's not to say that I don't give 100% when I've been in those spaces.
mhm.
It's just I know that it's not for me because I always know you got something slick up your sleeve, and I don't really just have the time. I don't have the mental capacity for it anymore. Like I will flash out, like seriously. So yeah, ain't no sense in me doing it. I'm
Ain't
just
no
like,
sense in you doing it. And
yeah,
so, and it's funny because I'm always like, okay, well, how can I work this job and work the business? But it's just, it's not. I gotta flip it. Like, I really
right,
do have to start flipping my mindset for that. I didn't mean to start this off kind of sad. I don't know. I feel like maybe this is that was a sad conversation. Me letting everybody know that, but you know, how do I turn it around? How do I turn it around? Now it's kind of like, okay, Nicole, I really do have to focus in on this business and making things
right,
happen and
right,
making it grow in a way that I can step away from
right,
nursing and make nursing something I'm passionate about again.
right,
It's not something I have to do in order to make money.
right,
So
right.
yeah.
Yeah, I think number one, I already know that you're going to do that. But secondly, I think it just kind of puts um our employer mortality in our face to say, girl, they don't need you, sir. They don't need you. They
Mhm.
don't value you the way that they should. And when they know damn well that they need nurses, lawyers, marketers, whatever profession that you're in, they need you. But if it comes down to their bottom line, they
Mhm.
will shoot themselves in the foot
Yes.
to
And
save a dollar.
and shoot everybody else too because every I'm texting people like, how y'all doing over there? They like, girl, we suffering. Ain't nobody here. Like such and such just quit. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's funny how that works. And it's not funny, but it's funny how that works. And it's also,
Hmm.
it goes into other things that, people that don't know how to keep quiet and don't know how to do what they're supposed to do.
Hmm.
Anyway, let's go on to the next topic because I want to talk about your recovery period from your online event.
Oh,
Lakeisha just had an event this month, and quite frankly, she's going into another event. I had a challenge this month, and we wanted to talk a little bit about recovery. Like, what does recovering from a launch, from an event, look like? Because I know I've needed the past, and it's funny because I went straight from launch to delivery. What's the
right.
delivery, right? Delivery of whatever it is I said I was going to give during the launch. So, what is it looking like for you post event? Because did you launch anything? Did you launch? Well, you're launching an entire business, but did
Right.
you launch
Yeah.
like a any kind of coaching or anything like that after the end of your event?
I launched my community,
Mm.
Mind Your Business, but it's morphed into something even bigger than what I thought. This one, year four, was amazing. It really, and I think it was because I was ultra focused. So I was focused on entrepreneurs and I never really focused that much on them. But then again, I joke about the mental illness giving you clarity. It helps you hone in on who you need to be talking to. And so I'm very clear that my audience are Black women entrepreneurs. No doubt about it, hands down. Now,
Hmm.
anybody can join the party, but I just know who I talk to and who talks back to me. And so I just launched my community called Mind Your Business. But like I said, it's bigger than what I thought because I didn't realize how many entrepreneurs really need what I'm offering. And I only
Yes.
created it because it was nothing out there for me when I got sick. And
And that's what makes it perfect because you
yeah,
literally was like, I see a hole, nothing's for me. Let me create what I want for me.
yes,
So that was
yes,
perfect.
yeah. So recovery sometimes looks like, oh, I'm tired, but I got to build this. Oh, I'm tired, but I got to keep going. or I have to do, certain things. So what I did take a couple of days off. Actually, I took a weekend off. Let me stop lying. I took a whole weekend
So
off.
2 days. Okay.
I took no from Friday to Monday.
Okay.
I was out of town. I literally closed the event Thursday night, packed a
Mhm.
bag, and was headed to Dallas on Friday. I spent the whole weekend with my best friend and came back Monday, like late. And then it was like, okay, now it's on to your next event. Because again, I still have client events that I got to take care
Yes,
of.
you do.
But I was so relaxed in Dallas. But the wheels are turning like, okay, what's next? What's the next? And I'm like, I want to build Mind Your Business. Like, I literally want to build it. So, of course, my trusty assistant, Chat GPT, helped me with this whole thing of what I wanted to do. So, recovery sometimes is like not doing nothing, Nicole, but
Yeah.
then sometimes recovery is like letting your brain just get all the stuff out of it
Yeah.
so you can relax.
Brainstorm it, getting it all out and put it on
Yeah.
paper. And yeah, I agree with that. Like after a launch, I was like, oh, I could do this, oh, I could do that. Like
Mm-hmm.
essentially brainstorming so I can get it out because you
Yeah.
learn so much
Right.
from that thing. And
Yep.
now you're just like, okay, on 10 cylinders, like I can, if that's high, I don't know. I don't have
Yep.
car speed, but but I have to be able to get out all my next upcoming ideas,
Right.
my upcoming, what, how to deliver what I, the content and that sort of stuff.
Right.
So all that immediately after my event, or immediately after, I would say event slash launch, because I had
Right.
the challenge, the 3 day challenge. And a lot of things came up like, oh, I could do this, oh, I could do this, oh, I could do that. So
Yes.
I totally agree with that. When you said that you launched a community, what does that mean? So did you launch a Facebook group? Did you launch? Would you launch?
I ain't listen.
Never
I'm not
mind.
fooling with Facebook and them shenanigans over there.
Never
No.
mind.
So I have a community called on this platform called Learning, and it's called Mind Your Business. So the Learning platform is still relatively new, but
Mhm.
your girl gonna make sure the world know about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I said. I was like, what are we talking about? What
It
is
is
this
really
platform?
cool. So it's really a space for you to create your teaching. So you can literally launch your coaching program here. They
Mhm.
teach in what's called microburst. So think about Twitter meets video because you
Okay.
literally only have 30 seconds for each clip. So a learning is say I did a learning on journaling. I could
Mhm.
have 17 bursts, but each burst is at least is a maximum of 30 seconds.
Okay. So
So
Twitter esque. I kind of see
yes,
what you're getting there.
yeah. So I love it because it allows you to slow down
Mhm.
and really be able to talk about what you want people to know about whatever subject it is. But it also allows your guests or your students or whatever you call them to get the concept of what you're talking about. And they can reply to you with a video,
Hmm.
they can reply to you with audio. Like it's so cool, y'all. So I'm literally not only doing it myself. So this is the thing. I've had this community about a year now. I was one of the
Okay.
founders that launched it on
Mhm.
Learning.
Mhm.
It's too much by myself. So
Mhm.
I pulled 5 ladies who've been rocking with me with My Mind is My Business. And now they're part of this. They're admins on this, and they're going to help me grow it. And it's from
Yes.
5 different aspects of mental health. So, like Tamisha, who you introduced me to, she's
Mhm.
going to talk about ED and how
Mhm.
eating disorders, affect your mental health. I got Kevin Lynn, who's coming in with self-love, self-care, but also advocacy. She's an
Mhm.
advocate for Black women in healthcare. I got Tyra talking about anger and that whole false narrative of Black women are so mad. She's a psychotherapist, so she's coming in, with that aspect of it. Then I have someone else that's coming in with the faith-based, Dr. Van. She's going to be talking about faith and mental health because it tends to be a really sore issue with a lot of us. And finally, girl, I got my girl Tiff coming through talking about sex and mental health. Like
Okay.
all stuff that's taboo that we ain't been touching. Your girl is a disruptor. We about to touch all.
Just from everything.
We
Cut
finna
it
put our
up.
hands on all of it.
But you're creating this community. There are
Mhm.
people in there that's just kind of growing the content, the understanding in it.
Yes.
And I mean, like you just said, after your event, you went MIA. Like you mean MIA for the community, or well, you asked people to help you out, so you don't
Right.
necessarily need to be in that community every
Right.
24 seconds.
And there's enough content in there now for if anyone joins because they get a month free and then it's priced at like $4.99 a month. Now it's
Okay.
going up
Oh
as
yeah.
we grow it out, but there's enough content. It's at least 30 learnings in there. So they didn't allow me to launch it until I had 10. And then what I literally do is when I do my mental health Mondays, I take that same content and I just put it in learning. Like you got to work
Oh,
smart.
you mean the Instagram thing you do?
Yes.
The broadcast. Oh, okay. By the way, I still ain't got that. By the way, I don't.
You still don't have
I
broadcast
don't think so. Let me go double check. Because that's last month. I'm pretty sure I complained about that. I still ain't got that joint, and I still.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, y'all be getting all kinds of like, hey, you got a new message. And I'm thinking, oh, somebody direct message me. That going if it
Right.
ain't that broadcast channel. No. But it's a great way to get on people's radar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Now they just added a feature of having collaborators. So
No. Okay, so don't even talk about it yet. Wait, have you been doing that? Have you been using that?
no,
The
I don't
collaborator?
trust nobody with my community yet.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Not like that. Not on
Because
there.
I
I
was like,
mean,
ooh, who's been doing that? Because that'd be great inside the collab club, by the way.
yeah. So they do have it now where you can I think you can invite somebody who may be
Mhm.
already a part of your broadcast channel.
Right. Okay. Let's forget about broadcasters. I'll go on and on about how I don't got it. Okay. Let's go back to your community. So I mean, people are in there. So when you took your break, you had people ready to go to just kind of like
Mhm.
step in for you.
Yeah. So we talked about it throughout the conference.
Mhm.
And then I got some new signups. So there is a way like they know where to start. So like literally one says start here. Then there's a
Mhm.
couple in there where they can talk to me and tell me their story. I share my story, my mental health journey, and then they can share theirs. So there's more than enough content in there. And then
Mhm.
my goal is to have at least 2 new learnings every week so that it continues to grow because it's not something that you nurture in that sense. It's literally a space for people to go, which is why Mind Your Business, what I shared with you, the organization, is going to be something a lot bigger. Like, this is where you're going to go get your teachings. This is where you can go get all the information you want. But this
Mhm.
community is where we're going to do all the things, like all the things.
All the things.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you because I mean, I saw something on Instagram where she was like, "Oh, look at my business plan." I was like, "Girl, what is that?" like what is it? She's like, "New business? Like, what's going on?" Like, I knew it had something to do with my business, but I wasn't sure. And then you were like, "Yeah, I'm creating a new organization, and we'll talk about that in a second." But of the point of recovering from the events, stepping away. I did not step away. I'll just say as soon as my challenge was over, I went right into like, emails and launching. And I do this to myself every time where I don't pre-write anything. One of these
Mhm.
days I'm gonna do better. But just trying to make sure that I am getting the word out to those who need it, making sure
Right.
that, everybody gets what they but then I went straight into, hey, we're starting this community, the collab club. So I had no
Mhm.
break, which was but God was looking out for me because I did not have a day job. So
Yeah.
I was able to invest that time into making
Mhm.
sure that the community was, we were talking, we were
Right.
vibing. It ended up working out for that. Any tips
Right.
for recovering? Because I know mental health is one of your big things, making sure that you take
Yeah.
time. But any
Huge.
tips
Huge.
for recovery from events or launches?
I tell people like part of your recovery should be assessment. So you should
Mhm.
always assess like what worked, what didn't work. What do you want to do different next time? And so like now I'm getting ready for a new one, so I know what I want to do differently, even for the in-person one. But then literally just checking out if you can, and checking out sometimes isn't like not doing anything. Sometimes checking out is like we said, brain dumping, or just
Mhm.
doing something you enjoy. So me and my best friend went out like every night. We went to a new restaurant every night. That was so cool to be able to do that. But then like during the day, sometimes in between naps, because we take naps. Yeah, we do. We take naps.
Girl, I'm
But
37. I'm definitely taking that.
in
I just
between
got up
napping,
from
yeah, it was me working on what I want Mind Your Business to look like, because
a nap.
the hustle don't stop. So
Mhm.
you kind of gotta find a in between, because I hate the word balance. You gotta find an in between
Yeah.
to do that. So yeah, I would just say assess, and then take a break if you can. Like even if it's just to go to a restaurant, even if it's just to go outside, like just breathe.
No, I like that because if I can disrupt that moment, because I know like as
Mhm.
soon as you're done with the launch, I'm so tired. If I can disrupt that moment of I'm so tired and do something
Mhm.
else and get out of the house or take a walk, do
Right.
something that is apart from that, I'm tired from the launch, I'm tired from the event. It's a
Right.
good way to recover from it. So I want to go
Exactly.
into talking about your new organization. Yes, I said this like I don't know 2 weeks ago when she put it on Insta. I was like, okay, so let's go ahead and talk about it. What's going on? What is this new organization? Because I mean, Lakeisha has, a wonderful business, and now she's like, I'm gonna have another bit. I'm like, wait, what is happening? So tell us about the new organization and the fact. Remember, we talked about last month. I'm pretty sure it was last month that you need to take Mind Your Business in person. Like I was like, this
Yes.
needs to happen.
Yes. It has to
So
happen. It
updates.
has to happen. So what I learned from this conference was that this definitely needed to be in person. And just the impact it made online, I can't even imagine the impact it's going to make in person, to be up close and in front of some of these people that I bring to the stage. So from that, I'm like, I got to keep this going. So feedback comes immediately. So the conference ends at 9 p.m. Email goes out. Hey, thank you. Give me feedback. And I just happened to start reading my feedback,
Yeah.
and I'm blown away. Like, this isn't enough.
Ooh,
The
ooh, ooh.
sessions
You know
were
it's good when somebody say this isn't enough.
this isn't
Like, what is
enough.
that?
You don't do this often enough.
Ooh,
Um,
ooh, I like
I
that.
think you should have. Favorites were Tamisha, Tiffany, Dr. Van. Like those were their favorites because, for one, we don't talk about sex. It's taboo sometimes in the Black
Mhm.
community. Like I didn't even know a lot of stuff. My mama wouldn't even talk to me about it.
No, you know.
So they were like telling me they wanted more. What
Mhm.
made me feel really bad was that some people, and I got probably about 40 responses. They were like, well, you kind of don't show up a lot for us. You do this.
Ooh, wait, what? Oh, so you do the conference and then we don't see you
They're
again.
like, we see some of your stuff on Instagram, but it's not like what we would want. And so I leave space for them to tell me. And they
Yes.
were like, webinars or like the conference twice a year. So I won't do the conference twice a year. I think it won't have the same impact doing it twice a year. But I am committed to doing more. So that's when I was like, okay, what could I do where I could still reach the people,
Right.
monetize it, and then get people to help me with it? And I was like, this organization. So of course I went to my assistant and I was like, I want to write. I wrote out
And she
these
said
prompts.
chat GBT. That's her assistant. She
Yeah,
said.
that's my assistant now.
Okay.
That's my assistant. And so I
That's what's
literally went to it and I told it what I wanted. I
yeah.
told it that I wanted to um, start an organization. I wanted to start an organization called Mind Your Business. And I wanted this organization um, to help Black women entrepreneurs, because you have to be very specific.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that I wanted it to provide like mental health resources, tips, strategies to help with mental challenges, how to maintain good health. I also want to remove the stigma and create a safe space. And I was like, I need help developing this. And before you know it, me and Chat we spent like a couple of hours going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Um, just on what I wanted to do. I would input what my mission was. It spit it back out to me. So Mind Your Business is really going to be a business. It's going to be an organization. It's going to be for profit, but it probably will have a nonprofit segment of it eventually.
Eventually.
But it's actually going to be able to provide resources. So again, I'm sitting on people who have these things that I need, who show up for every conference I have, but they have their own businesses, which shows me I don't have to do this alone. I make them partners with me to help grow Mind Your Business. Now, there's a safe space for the next Black woman entrepreneur who has a crisis, who has a breakdown, who doesn't know where to go when business gets to be too much. Because, honey, it gets to be too much sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
absolutely.
yeah, why? You know, there's a space for them to be able to go to talk about that. And so we're not slowing down on this. We're going to be doing like bi-monthly webinars. And that's for me to nurture my audience. So when I hit y'all with that ticket price for in-person, y'all like, okay, it's a no-brainer.
But they're literally crying out like, we need more. We need more. What is happening?
Yes, they were like, we need more. And for me, I think people think I just know like how to do these things. And sometimes I know what I want to do. I just don't know like the steps in between. Remember, I'm a personality. So I want to get to the end result as fast as possible. Sometimes I don't always know the in between. And I'm a risk taker. So as a disruptor and a risk taker, sometimes you're like, I'm just gonna launch it and it may look raggedy as hell.
But you know it won't. You know, people are gonna make sure that
I'll make sure it's good. So now the goal is to have something that is sustainable, that can grow, that can expand. And again, it's a safe space for Black women entrepreneurs to be able to come and talk about these things that bother them in their business so that they don't wind up jumping off a building, giving up their businesses, even if we don't go that route, just giving up their businesses. Because some people walk away because the stress is, and I want us to stop being misdiagnosed. One of my speakers talked about them telling her she had depression and anxiety for like years, Nicole, and come to find out she has bipolar disorder.
No.
That's a big jump. That's a big jump. Yeah. So those kind of things, like I really want to do that. So this Mind Your Business is launching next month, but small scale with webinars. And then you're going to see it grow to one day events, like for Suicide Awareness Month, for Mental Health Awareness Day. You're going to see us, do all those things because again, my audience is like, where you at?
Where you at? That's a nice bit of it, like to have somebody say, where you at? We want you more.
We want more.
As you were talking about, like, okay, making it in person, girl, the first I started thinking about, well, we can get sponsorship from sex companies, sex toys. You can start getting sponsorship. I mean, it's so many. Remember, I told you I wanted to launch my event hydration company.
Yes.
I was toying around with that. Like, I really want to do something with IV, hydration and that whole thing. So I was like, all these skills I got, come on now.
That's what I'm saying.
For the love of God. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I put in IVs and they went to their people's hearts. I think I can do something. I got some skills.
Absolutely.
Skills. So so when you're having that, please, sponsorship.
Nicole would like to
sponsor. Nicole would like to sponsor that in person.
Yes, like I need you to go and get it up and running so we can have it there. And the thing is, I think, Nicole, a lot of people don't understand or realize when you go after sponsorships, We want to go after the ones that make sense. Having
Mm-hmm.
a liquid hydration company at your event makes sense for any given reason.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people come to your events and they are burnt out, they are
Yep.
worn out, they are tired. They
Mm-hmm.
literally are there because they either bought the ticket or they want to support you. You need something like that that is going to help pep them back up. You never know what is happening. I was at an event, one of my clients had an event. Someone literally had a panic attack
Oh,
at her
gee.
event.
Oh.
At her event. Thank
Wait.
God we knew
So
something.
somebody could, yeah, help her out.
Yeah, good thing we knew some things because we literally had to call an ambulance for her because she wasn't feeling well.
Mm.
So at my event, Nicole, there's going to be a decompression room because
Yee.
we understand these things can be triggering, and now we in your face.
Absolutely.
If it's online, you can turn the camera off. You know?
Yeah. No, look. That's what I'm so excited about because I want a safe space and the right event to launch
Right,
this thing at. So
right,
not just anybody is like, oh, can I come? I really want it to be a place where it will be received and
right.
received well. And stuff like IV hydration. If you know anything about hydration therapy, it definitely is very
Right.
helpful to your
Yeah.
mind and your body. So I'm excited.
Yes, me
I'm
too.
excited about it. I'm excited about the new organization. I'm excited about this in-person event 2024 that's happening.
Thank
And even when
you.
you were talking about that, I was like, girl, it's somebody right now, one of my past mentors, she's almost kind of doing like a, what's that road show, traveling road, I don't know. You
Like
remember
a
like when they,
tour?
yeah, almost like a tour. Yeah, like in that where she's going city to city,
Mm-hmm.
major cities, and essentially inviting people to come and be a part of a retreat, business, something along those lines.
Yeah.
And when you start talking about it, I was like, okay, Lakeisha, go on tour. Your
Yeah.
fans are waiting. Go on tour. Retreats all over the country.
Yeah. I mean, I have considered that. I actually have been in talks with some wellness centers. Now, that's the key to making these work is these wellness centers already have the professionals there. It's
Mm,
literally me bringing myself and I could bring, a few speakers. I love that most of them are all inclusive.
mm,
And I mean, it's a ticket, it's a price. It's about $2,000 to $3,000 that you're gonna spend, but it's all inclusive. They were telling me all the classes they have for that price.
mm.
I was like, wait, what now? Huh? Wait, what? It was like meals included, airport
Mhm,
transfer.
mhm.
So
Yep.
for me, it elevates the experience. And so that's something else that I'm toying with in 2024 is doing a first one. I actually am looking at doing like a mini one for myself and
Mhm.
someone I want to help. I want to invest in it with me.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
In August, like for my birthday, we're gonna go for like 3 days to
Yep.
see. But it's definitely something because I think keeping it online was good. Okay, now I say I want to go in person. And of course, I'm launching it in Houston because that's where I'm at. But
Right.
what if people can't get to Houston? Because these ticket prices still are disrespectful. So, they're still disrespectful.
Yeah.
So now I have thought about a tour and what it looks like. I think my only concern is the impact. Would it still have the impact doing it multiple times a year?
Well, I don't think it's different people, right? So are you so I guess in my brain I'm thinking tour, like it's not virtual.
Right.
The retreats are not virtual. So does it have the same impact? I believe it would. Because okay, so say like you go on tour, like a 5 city tour, just starting with
Mhm.
5 cities around the country. It's meant to be where you can get closer to the people who want
Right.
it. So in essence, they would probably only go to either your city tour or they may go to both, but it's not the same thing because you're talking about having like wellness centers be a part of that. So it's
Yeah.
going to be different from if they came to your big in-person event. I think it's going to
Right.
be different. And I don't know. I've been begging this girl to come to DC. Like, please bring one of your tour stops to DC. That's the closest thing to me, or even Charlotte. That's pretty close to me. Bring it to one of them places. But it's meant for that connection that you can only
Right.
get for in person. So I personally think you could absolutely support having a multi-city tour, 5, 3, whatever you want to do,
Right.
plus having the one big one for everybody to come to.
Yeah, because I want to definitely, and I know this is probably gonna sound so biased, but I want to go to the cities that got like a lot of black people.
So you headed to Atlanta. You headed
Oh,
to.
absolutely. I
I'm
mean, I
thinking,
work
I
a
don't know,
lot there.
maybe Philly. I don't know. You headed to them places.
Well, like Philly would be great. One of the organizations that I work with before, Black Men Heal, they have a huge presence there. Now they do work with men, but it's always about collaboration. So I've thought
Right.
about like DC. I thought about Charlotte. I know
Yeah,
that
oh,
there,
yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
never been Charlotte in that list.
yeah, I've heard about there's some really great communities there. And the thing is, I feel cool, but then sometimes imposter syndrome sets in, like there's
Oh
no
yeah.
one else doing this. Like there's
There
no
there
one
is
else.
nobody else. That's why I'm like, girl, get on it. Like,
Right,
to do a tour. Now Lakeisha's going on tour.
right,
That's different. That's not
exactly.
I'm doing virtual. That's thinking in
Right,
this larger capacity. I'm
right.
going on tour. That's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the part that scares me
Yeah, I get
the
it.
most.
I'm scared thinking about it for you. I'm
Right.
like, ooh, that's kind of scary to think about. But that's exciting. That's you're getting to another. Your business is getting to another level where it can
Right.
support people in different places
Right.
want to meet you.
Right.
So yeah, and that's for anybody listening. If you have a business where you now have a community that's
Yes.
invested in the thing, think about going on quote unquote tour. Beyonce
Right.
ain't the only one that can do it. Like,
Right. And please don't do what her behind doing. Make it feasible for your people. And I mean,
$1 million a ticket. That's
I know
insane.
that's so crazy. And I mean, even for because my community was accidental. I was creating something for me.
Mm,
And when I sat in that bed and told people that I was sick and that what I wanted to do was create these resources that people have, I never thought people would be like, me, it's me. So this
mm.
community popped up and I was like, whoa, what am I gonna do with y'all? Like surprise kids, like if you found out you're pregnant like in the 7th month.
Like, what? That's like in the
Yeah,
seventh
it's
month.
like that. But Nicole's right, y'all. Like if you have a business and you have a community of people, your people want to see you.
Yes, they want to
Go
see
where
you.
they are.
Well, we're there, so then not even just see you virtually. I mean, they want connection with each other too,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
a Zoom meeting don't cut it sometimes. To be able to
Yep.
go and actually meet that person,
It's
do
true.
pictures. Like I'm still begging her, please go to DC, do a DC part, but she's still thinking about it. But I was like, come to DC. Abe it's like I just want to meet you. I've never met you
Right.
before.
Right.
Like come or Charlotte, whatever one.
Yeah.
And I think it was only like, I don't know, maybe $800 or something for a ticket. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
even that expensive.
It's
Um,
not bad. And there's so many ways. So, like when I was talking about this conference, Tyra, who is the psychotherapist, she is like my right hand. She's one of my tribe members. And I was like, I don't know what to charge. She was like, well, I tell you what, not charging less than $100. I know that. And I was like, she said, no, ma'am, we are not. Look, we're going to sign up for a firm. We're going to have payment plans. No, ma'am, we're not doing this. We're not doing it. And so I want y'all to know the value of what you put out too when you think about it. And so I had to think about, this is a 3-day conference. It's a disrespect not only to my craft and what I do, but to the people I'm inviting to come as
Ooh.
speakers to say, because I
Somebody
may
say,
not be
somebody
able to pay them much,
yeah,
but
somebody write that down, y'all.
yeah, it's
It's a
disrespect.
disrespect to me and for the people who I'm inviting to speak to not charge accordingly. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we got to be careful with that. And think about it, Nicole. Some people may not even come if it's not priced like it should be because they'll think it's trash.
Yeah,
A 3-day event for $50, they're going, girl, she ain't doing nothing.
it's true. It's true. It's true. Now you make me like, dang, I don't know. I'm at an event in June. I'm like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, I'm
But the event for me is a lead magnet, so it's not
yeah,
necessarily. I am charging, but it's a
Right.
lead magnet more so than that. But
Right.
okay, we gotta go with the last topic because I want to make sure that we get that last thing. You talked to me about something called melanated millionaires, right? That's the name of it.
Melanin millionaires.
Melanin millionaires.
Yes.
Okay, now what
I'm
is it?
smiling hard,
I
y'all.
know she was. You need to. This is something. I was like, okay, what we talking about? And then even so, you're like, look, okay, Nicole, Lakeisha, I'm white. That's what you may say. I don't think I'll be accepted in this group.
You
I
will.
mean, you will, but
Mhm.
even if you listen to this, you can also see like how to create a really great community to
Right.
where one of their members is sitting there on their podcast and shouting you out. Like that's a pretty high
Right.
praise that one of your members is literally sitting there shouting you out. So what
Yes.
is it? What is it? And what's got you smiling about it?
Oh
Because
my
you were
gosh.
so excited about it when you were telling me about it. It was
I
so
was so excited. So I met George at one of my clients' events that was here in Houston, and he talked about his organization, Melanin Money. And I was like, oh, I like the title. It's cute. It's cool. And so then I heard him speak, and his goal is to help 100,000 Black families increase their net worth by $1 million. And that's a tall feat. That's a tall feat to be able to do, but then when you hear him talk about how he does it, I love it. So he is a financial advisor. He helps people take their income, whatever it may be, and invest it so that they can see a return. He's really heavily into a lot of that. And so when he started dropping the facts about like the median income for Black families was like $1,700, while white families it was like $116,000. It's like
Mhm,
that's a huge difference. What is it that we can do? And a lot of it is lack of education. And so
mhm,
they really have an educational platform called Melanin Money. That is really like a movement and it's designed to like help close the wealth gap
mm,
with education and economic empowerment. So, like, we do these classes where there's George and there's Carter. Carter is a tax accountant. Like, he's super huge as well as like George is. Like, they've been featured in all these magazines, Forbes and NBC, all these places, they've been featured. And they're giving us the game, y'all. They giving us the game on how to make our money work for us. So like Carter literally sits there and tells us, like, if you have $100,000 job, a W-2 job, this is what your tax liability will be.
mhm.
It's like 40% of your income. But if you are an entrepreneur and you make X amount of money, you can literally get back, more money than if you were a W-2 person. Like, he actually goes through and shows us how much money you would make. He was like, I think he said he made like 100,000 a year or something as an entrepreneur, and he got back like $19,000. 19,000. I was like, I'm doing the game all wrong. And he really gives us executable things. It helps to transform my mindset as an entrepreneur because think about it, Nicole. When we go from a W-2 person who uses their cell phone, uses the internet, to now an entrepreneur, we still got the same stuff, boo. Now
Mhm.
I get to write that off the way I'm supposed to. If I buy a new car and that car is used for my business, the IRS allows me to write off a certain amount of that income of that cost as long
Right.
as it weighs a certain amount of money. So it
Yeah.
got me smiling because boo, I got some extra change.
So I'm about to buy me a
I,
car. I'm about to
yeah, like just by
love it.
you know listening to these conversations, being in the room with people who may not be millionaires, and that's really not even my goal. My goal is to just be comfortable and to leave a legacy for my grandson. I
Mhm.
want my grandson to have some money. I don't want my kids fighting over whatever. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just also to be a smarter entrepreneur as well. Like, what are the things that I'm doing that can help alleviate some of these costs? Because again, the tax code was not designed for W-2 people. It was designed for entrepreneurs. So why the hell I ain't using it? We mad at Donald Trump and Bezos and all these other people. Now we mad at Trump for a whole bunch of, but we mad at these people because they don't pay taxes on money, but it's legal.
Right.
how they don't do that.
It's legal.
Yeah. So I'm like, listen, it's $97 a month, I think. 97 or
$97.
$99 a month. You
But
get
you also talked about the fact that it's not just the content, but a content that really impacts people, but
yes,
also having those little extra things. You're like, oh, they're just not pocketing everything that they
yes.
get from the fee every month. They're not just pocketing it.
Yeah, no, they actually so in. So it's like when you think about a course, and it's no shade to any of us, because I have a couple of courses out there, but we give people the information, but they sometimes don't have access to us because
Mhm.
we create a course so they won't have to have access to us,
Yeah.
in a way. Well, this is a whole different flip on it. Not only are there courses in there, because they have something called the financial flicks, where I can go in, girl, and watch any training that they have ever done, any training they have ever done. So I get to do that. There are challenges in the group, but then they're also tapped in every Sunday and Monday with classes. And then throughout the week, they're saying, hey, here's a strategy. If you got an extra this amount of money, go invest it in this. It's like, okay, these are things I can do. These are things I can start doing today.
Hmm, hmm,
So that's why I love it. I'm like, baby, take my money.
But that's in the end goal, especially if you're thinking about doing a membership or anything like that. Having something where people are tapped into the content, like it
Right.
really resonates, it will impact their business, and it's very easily like, okay, that makes sense. But also, you're saying they have a library of content, so anything they've done is available. Any course they have is available in this context, and they are charging a little bit more of a higher ticket per month,
Mhm.
but the higher ticket makes sense. So people are going to be like, yes, I want that higher ticket. Yes. And you even said they give you swag. I mean, that goes beyond, because quite frankly, all you need is the course. But now you're talking like now they got swag. So that's a little bit, that's
Yes,
going beyond.
yes. It's a lot of great information, that you can get, and it's so much to where it's you almost are like, dang, like I wish I would tapped in early. Like I wish I would have been tapped in earlier, but the thing is they don't make you feel crazy for like just tapping in. They tell you start where you are. Create a plan of how you want to move your money. Because that's really all we're doing. We're just moving
Mhm.
money legally.
Legally moving your money.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that you have the link. It'll be an affiliate link for Lakeisha. I believe it's an affiliate link, right?
Yes, it
Okay,
is
so
a
we'll make sure that you have that because, as a part of your income streams, making sure that you, when you are loving on people, that you say, hey, you got an affiliate link because I want to share, but I also want to make sure that I add to my affiliate streams.
yeah,
So,
and the cool thing, now I will tell you, the cool thing about them is you just get free gear for sharing with people.
mm,
And I like that aspect of it too, because you when you think about financial literacy, a lot of times in our communities, it's just not there.
right.
It's just not there. Oh, and girl, the best part.
Okay.
They have a financial advisor named Penny that you can text. So from the app, I can ask Penny, I can say, hey, Penny, I have an extra $10. Where should I invest it? And someone in the community that is a part of their team will respond to me. It's like having an advisor in your pocket. That's what they call it, pocket advisor.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
And I've heard a version of something like that. Obviously, not for the financial part of it. I've heard of versions like that. But when you can have something where they are specific to you, respond to you, that you are being, it's an individualized thing
right,
component of your membership. I think that really helps. And
right.
you said it's inside Mighty Networks, right?
Yeah, they have it housed inside Mighty Networks. And it, like I said, it's super cool. Like I love the interface of it. So like I've never seen a membership inside of Mighty Networks
I think I
that
have
has that is
once, but like
this.
I wasn't in it long.
Yeah, this one is really customized. You can tell that they take time to build it out. They have a
Mhm.
lot of people who are a part of their team that like help out with a lot of stuff. So there's something going on like every day.
Hmm.
Like
Well,
they're
there you go.
and they're in there talking. The founders, George is in there, Carter is in there, like dropping gems.
Well, that's cool. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm getting some things from that, but I did drop the collab club at the end of my last challenge.
Yes, you did.
I did. I ended up closing Biz Besties club because I was like, I need it to be a little bit more niched, something that really zeroes in. Because I had a club
Right.
called Biz Besties, which I'm gonna bring back, but it's gonna be more of like a lifetime club kind of thing. Like upgrade for this, and you get these discounts, these perks for a lifetime. But anyway,
Right.
so now it's the collab club, all about collab strategies that fit your business right now to grow your community, grow your audience,
Hmm.
and girl, just really quickly, I ended up with 44 founding members.
Whoop, whoop.
44, can you believe that? I was sitting there like, how did I get 44 founding members? I was like, really? Like, this is
Why would
what
you get 90?
happened? I don't know. I literally wrote, I was like, okay, 20. I always do holy shirt, best, better, good. Holy shirt means I can't even believe this is, and
Right.
it was 20 holy shirt. I put 25. Holy shirt was 25 people. And when I ended up with 44, I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, like okay, maybe this is a thing that people do. They're interested in collabs and building their audience using this strategy. So now that you're talking about it, it's a lower ticket membership, but it's like how can I make it's going to increase. You can best believe that because the amount of content you're getting, is like
Exactly.
it's growing, right? Right. So I'm building it every single month. I just dropped the first module. So every single month it's going to get bigger and bigger. So that means that price is going to go up and up and up. Obviously, it's going to cap at some point, but but
Right.
maybe not. I don't know, but it's going to go up. Um, but yeah, I'm excited about it and doing a membership and growing a community inside a membership container and growing new products because
Yep.
I've been talking about creating new products and things like that. So
I think it's gonna be great. I'm excited. I am a member.
you
And
are
so
a member. I'm
yes.
excited that
And I
you're in
think
it.
it's important to always number one, like you have to support. Like to me, that's just a given. Like you gotta support. But also is that it is an important part of growing your business is collaborating. Like people miss the mark with this. They
Mhm.
miss the mark.
Yeah, they do. And it's funny because like even like this podcast, I was like, hey, this is my chance to talk to you and to get your insight on things and for vice versa. I learned so much from you on this. You know, it makes sense to do these things and to grow with each other. So, and people be like, "Oh yeah, I listened to your last episode of Two Biz Besties." Like, you did? Oh, thanks. I still like when people say that to me, like, "You did? Oh, okay, thank you." Because in my brain, nobody else is listening to this, but we're
Right.
having our conversation, and I know I'm enriched from the conversation. So in my brain, I'm just like, "That's enough for me." But then when you realize that collab is helping other people, it's pretty cool.
Yes, yes. And I think that is what people miss out on. Or sometimes, Nicole, it could be they don't understand that whole concept. So that's what I think is really cool about what you're doing. Like it kind of breaks some things down for them so that they understand like the importance of being able to tap into other people's networks and businesses and how you can like grow from that.
Yeah, I need to get you in there so you can teach something. At this
Oh
point, I don't care
gosh.
what you teach. Just get in there and teach it.
Ah, really?
At this point, it's like
Really?
whatever. Because there's so many different topics you could teach on. I'm just gonna say that out loud. But and as a part of the Collab Club, I realized I was like, I can't do it by myself. I can't do all the
Yeah.
teaching on my own. I don't know everything. That's for daggone sure. I will not
Right.
know everything. So to be able, yes, I'm a leader, I'm a curator, but I also need to bring in the talents of the people inside this club. So, we
Right.
already have got some member-led tutorials, is what we're calling it. That's going to be coming out this month, where people are just going to lead their own
Right.
presentation sessions. Because I'm just like, I know there's so much more talent So I'm collabing with the people, the members in the group. Is what I'm doing.
Yeah,
And bringing people together and making more content that resonates with people. So,
right. That's true. I agree. I agree.
girl, it is thunderstorming, and you know what they say: turn the lights out and sit in the dark. So
Yes. You definitely want to.
that is not a real thing. I'm about to go downstairs and tell my husband, turn off the TV, turn off the lights. We sitting here in
Yeah.
the dark. And every time he's like, shut
My
up, we're
mom
not
definitely
doing that.
say that one. Like, turn
Turn
the
off the
lights
lights, turn off the lights, and you're on the internet, get off the internet, all this
on. Yep. Yep.
hot mess. Okay, anything else we need to talk about, Lakeisha? This is May 2023. Can you believe we're already in June? Every time I was like, wow, we did another episode. We did another episode. This is so cool.
It's like the months fly. They fly
Yes.
so fast. When you look at, you're like,
Dang, it's
okay,
time for
it's
another one.
almost. Last month we was like, dang, it's already May.
Yeah. I feel like we're gonna say that every episode. Dang, it's this time? It's this time? They were like,
Mhm.
geez, they never believe it's that month that they're in.
Right.
But yeah, time waits for no man, as my mom always says. But anyway,
Right.
y'all, I'm super happy that we could get this month in. I'm
Yes.
sure next month there'll be a lot more craziness and things that happen.
Shenanigans
Uh,
for real.
shenanigans, as they always shenanigans, but that's okay. We're gonna get
Yeah.
through it. So, okay, guys. So make sure you check out the description for any of those links that we told you about. And yeah, give us, I guess, a rating. I mean, is that a thing still where people rate? Yeah, sure. I guess give us a rating on anything anywhere you're listening. Quite frankly, this is just for us to chat. We're not even doing this for ratings. I'm like, can you rate us? Is that what it is? 5 stars, whoever you're listening to this, and say,
Yeah.
hey, no, we're not doing this for ratings. Okay, whatever. If you want to rate us, but make sure it's 5 stars if you do rate us, because otherwise, keep it to yourself.
Right.
Um,
We don't want to hear it, like, for real.
Oh, well, we're gonna get something about that. Okay. Anyway, okay, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us in this episode, and we will see you in June.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.